told you earlier, my name's Doug. I'm a quality professional. This is what I've done for 30 years, as I mentioned. And one of the things I've seen that's really interesting over those 30 years, things have changed. It's amazing what things have changed in the quality world. One of the things that's changed is it's really easy to collect data now. You think about the technologies that Patrick was talking about. You got paper and pencil, you got spreadsheets, you got all these opportunities to gather data. But let me ask you this, why do you gather that data? From a quality standpoint, why do you gather? What's that?
Look at trends.
Look at trends? Process refinement, absolutely, yes.
Operational insight.
Thank you, operational insight, thank you, and well done, I'll pay you later. Anybody else? Delicious beer is always a good thing, yeah, you got your centuries, right?
Who said operational insight?
Yes. Oh, now, great. Everybody's going to be doing it. Another reason we check data is we want to see if it's good or not, right? We want to see if it's acceptable or not. And if it's not, if there's a problem, we want to act upon it. We want to identify those problems. We want to fix them as soon as possible. And it's really cool. The examples that have been talked about by the speakers today about quality problems we've run into. There's real life, man. We want to get in front of that stuff. So if the data is easy to gather, and what we do is we use it, hopefully, and I think what you mentioned is really, that's a strategic thing that you're doing. You say, hey, I want to get this data because, by golly, I want to figure out how to make this thing better, more efficient, less costly. That's cool. My experience has been is that most of the cases, people aren't as forward-looking as that. Most companies I'm working with today, they gather the data to say, am I good or bad? Do I have a problem or not? Should I fix it or not? And that's it. Earlier this week, we had a great conversation with someone in the focus group. And she said, you know what? We got lots of data in spreadsheets. And she said, I spend hours every week looking at the data to see if it's good or bad. Hours. Like every day, 1 or more hours, every day, just looking at numbers. Holy smokes, what if you could automate that? What if you didn't have to look at individual data values to see if the data is good or not? What if you could make that automated? That'd be pretty awesome. It would take a lot of time out of her week, and probably a lot of time out for the rest of your weeks as well. So when we talk about data that's bad, that's great to find this stuff because we fix those problems. Finding the bad data can be time consuming. We don't want to do that. We want to automate that. But let me answer this. What about the data values that are good?
Just real quick,
Yeah.
you're saying bad data, do you mean data that is
I'm sorry.
inaccurate?
I misspoke.
Or-
It's the nitro stout talking.
Okay.
What I should have said was data that's out of spec.
Okay.
It's unacceptable. Something broke out there, and by golly, the data tells me it's
Not that you
something
can't
bad
trust
happened.
the data, but the data says something is wrong.
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah. I was assuming the data is accurate, but in this case, out of specification. So in that case, we're going to fix those problems. What happens to the data, though? The overwhelming, large amount of data that's within specs. Huh?
You don't do anything with it. You just collect it.
That's the answer. You don't do anything with it. Right? And you're in good company. Most companies don't do anything with it. They say, it's good, hooray! And they don't do anything with it. That data goes and it dies somewhere. It dies in databases, it dies in IT subsystems, it dies in spreadsheets, and sometimes dies on paper. It gets filed in the file cabinet, right? I mean, it does. Never to be seen again. You guys see that? Man, I see it all the time. And the cool thing about statistics, I'm a statistician, so no booing. I'm a statistician. I love numbers, I love information. Statistical methods is all about gathering information from data. That's what it's about. And every set of data I've ever seen in my professional career for 30 years, every set of data, I don't care how big or small, there's a story that data is telling. And it's telling you there's a trend, or there's an opportunity for improvement, or there's a problem over here, or there's something out of spec, or everything's good. There's a story that's being told. But if you take all that good data and you throw it away, you can't listen to the story. You can't understand what's happening with your processes. The most forward-looking companies I've ever worked with are the companies that treat that data like gold. The good data. They don't throw it away, they don't disregard it, they don't ignore it. What they do is they step back and they say, you know what? Yes, we need to fix problems. We need to get rid of the issues we have on the shop floor, but the people that step back and say once a week, or once a month, or once a quarter, in some cases once a day, let's roll that data up. Let's look at the big quality picture. Those companies that do that do extraordinary things with their processes. They do extraordinary things with quality. Now I've got a couple examples to share with you about that. And I'm not overstating it. I used the word transformative earlier. And truly, quality data can be used as a strategic advantage in any industry, because that data has value. It's got great information from it. So, let's talk about that. First of all, a little bit about InfinityQS. We're a software company. But we're going to talk about what we mean by quality. And I'm going to go through a distillery case study. Some of you are in distillery industries. I think I saw it. Great. Excellent. And then we're going to talk about reimagining quality in craft brewing as well. So, let's start here. We're a software company. And man, this is a lot of fun. We love doing this stuff. We love working with quality people. We love working with manufacturers. I'm a manufacturing guy first. Our company is filled with people that are manufacturing people. I've been on hundreds of shop floors around the world. It's been a ton of fun. My wife isn't so happy about that because I'm out of town a lot. But I got to tell you, man, it's awesome going in and seeing how things get made. Now, I haven't spent a lot of time in brewing, so I'll follow my sword there. But I can tell from the presentations that have been done up here, wow, you guys are dealing with a lot of stuff, and it sounds incredibly interesting. So we've learned a lot, and we work with lots of different industries. We work with medical device, pharmaceutical organizations. We work with automotive, aerospace. We work with companies that make any manner of things you can imagine. We worked with a geospatial photography company once. What the heck is that? Mapping, geospatial mapping company, that's right. And this is a company that would take airplanes, go up in the air, and take photos of the geography, and then feed them over to Google Maps. It's like, what the heck? And they did that, and they checked the quality of those photos, because you know how expensive it is to send a plane in the air? Holy shnik, it's expensive, right? Well, they wanted to minimize defects in their photos, because if they minimize the defects, they didn't have to send a plane up again and burn all that gas and hire the pilot and all that stuff. So for them, they used our software to dramatically reduce their costs and reduce defects and understand where the defects were coming from in the first place. So we work with all kinds of different industries, but mostly we work with beverage and food companies. That's really our wheelhouse. And man, that's a lot of fun. We work with some of the world's largest companies and some little, small, tiny companies, and all of them benefit from the information that's provided to them by their own data, the stories their own data tell them. And it's pretty cool. I kind of like this stuff. So we also live on the shop floor. So we've generated software that's really simple for operators to work with, lab techs to work with, and they go in there, it's big buttons based, and it's very visual, and you know, we understand operators on the shop floor, they got jobs to do, and they're very busy people. So we've made this software so it's really simple to work with, but it's also automating all the stuff we were talking about earlier, you know, looking at the data. Is it good data? Do I have a problem? Is anything out of spec, in spec, whatever? All that stuff's automated for our clients. And that's cool, but it's not just about the shop floor. It's also about extracting what we call manufacturing intelligence from the data. Those companies that really transform their operations, they're extracting that intelligence from their data. They're getting information from data. Statistical methods is all about taking data and converting it into information. That's what we do really well. And people as high as the C-suite organizations, they take this data and they can make decisions about what's best for our business to improve our operations, reduce our cost structures, and eliminate defects. So we're kind of all over the map. We love working with the shop floor operators. We're on the shop floor. We love working with the mid-managers, the quality professionals, the Six Sigma specialists, the C-suite, all these people that benefit from that information. What do we mean by quality? Well, you got a Hyundai on the left-hand side, right? You got a Bentley on the right-hand side. It is not about trying to convert one into the other. It's not about that. For us, quality is all about focusing on process quality and focusing on product quality both. Because we know you've got a high quality product you want to make, right? But it's not just about checking the product to make sure it's good. You got to make sure that process is dialed in too, right? So there's two different forms of quality we're talking about here. And if we optimize quality, what we do is we allow you to reduce scrap, rework, inspection costs, eliminate the defects from your business. And if you can do that, rightly, there's an opposite effect, and that is there's great increases in benefits to the business. And that includes efficiency, dollar cost savings, profitability, and we've been talking a lot about this, loyalty and customer satisfaction, because several of the discussions I've heard today are about consistency. Is the product consistent over time? And if it's not consistent, that's a problem. We talked about that. And so from our standpoint, quality is about making things better in manufacturing so that the business results are dramatically better. That's what we mean by quality. And it's all about this excellence loop, you know? We want to get over here. We want to transform and improve our bottom line, our business performance, by getting insights from the data, the story told by the data. And we get that story by getting visibility of that data. Now, one of the cool things about, I'll get to this in a moment, one of the cool things about doing the work we do is we get to work hand in glove with our clients. And there's one client I worked with, they made beverage carriers, you know what I mean? 6-pack beverage carriers, folded cartons, right? And this is a company in the United States that had 20 plus plants, making nothing but boxes basically, right? And that's the stuff that, you know what you do, you buy a beer, you throw the box away, you drink the beer. The beer, that's what you want. You want the beer, you don't want the box, right? You toss the box away. Well, their clients were a who's who of organizations that wanted really high quality beverage carriers. Well, this one plant in the southeastern United States I was working with, these guys were told by their corporate entity, they said, look, your quality's so bad, we're going to shut you down. We're going to shut down the plant. Now, the 315 souls that worked at this plant, they all needed that job. And it was a small community in the southeastern United States. And so if that plant shut down, or there'd be a ripple effect throughout the community. So we worked closely with this company, the plant manager and his direct reports. And it was really cool because they were focused on, we got to fix the quality. And what was neat about it is the corporate guy said, give it 6 months. If you can't turn around in 6 months, you're gone, all of you. And so we worked with them, and within 3 months, they literally had eliminated their defects. Literally. They were talking about parts per million defects in less than 3 months. And the way they did it is to gather data about, well, what are our defects? If you really want to improve something, measure it. If you measure it, man, you're going to see the opportunities for improvement. So they measured those defects, and it was expensive to do it. But they got those insights that said, here's where the major defects are coming from. Here's what the defects are. Here are the sources of those defects. And slowly, over weeks and weeks of hard work by the engineering staff, their operators and shop floor, they literally eliminated defects. They went, in less than 4 months actually, they went from worst quality throughout the entire enterprise to the best quality. Worst to first in less than 4 months. It was nothing short of transformative. That plant stayed open. Those 315 people kept their jobs. And what was cool was the management staff went, holy smokes, that was awesome. We saved this plant. And they took all those ideas and they took them to the next plant that was worse, and the next worst plant, and the next worst plant. Before you know it, the entire business had been transformed. It was one of the most satisfying things I've done professionally, is to help that company use our software to make something that affected the lives and professions of the people that work for the company. It was amazing. So I dig this stuff, you can kind of tell. But we did it. We did this with all of our clients. We really want our clients to get to the point where they say, wow, we're so much better than we were before. And so to that end, let's do this. Let's talk about this distillery operation. We're under NDA, so I can't tell you who these companies were. But this one company, they had a bunch of production lines, and they said, we need some help. And they wanted to use a quality system like ours, and they said, let's take this quality system, let's just try it out, let's see what happens. Let's do a pilot on this production line. And so it's just one single production line, and they did a bunch of different checks. There are product quality checks, yes. There are a few process checks, not many. But mostly they said, hey, we got to make sure we've got compliance and regulatory checks being performed. We got to make sure we're doing our sanitation stuff and a variety of different HACCP checks, hazard analysis, critical control points. So they wanted to do that stuff. And so we helped them do that. And we did it all along the production line. So we started with bottle washing, then filling, capping, labeling, packaging, and palletizing. This probably sounds familiar to me. And at each step of the way, they said, what are the critical things we really want to look at? What are the things that are important to us from a quality perspective? And this is just a few of those items. I'm just giving you a subset of the things they thought were really important. So on bottle washing, they said breakage is important. Sanitation is vitally important. If there's foreign material, make sure that the bottles are clean. Temperatures are right, the flow rates are right, all that stuff. All the way over here to palletizing. They're checking on case condition, cleanliness, and all that. And so we looked at this, we got together and figured all the stuff that we wanted to do, and then from our standpoint, in real time, we did this for their operators. We set it up so that their operators were reminded when these data collections needed to occur. So let's say every 30 minutes, an operator has to do some sanitation check. Great. Or every 2 hours, whatever it was. Or every hour they did weight checks, calculated volumes. We would remind the operators when they're supposed to do that stuff. And operators loved it because they're going, they actually had a humongous clock on the wall. And when I walked in, I was like, well, why the clock? The guy's like, well, we got to remind ourselves we're supposed to take checks. And I said, does the clock remind you? He goes, no, it's just big. And so we see it. We go, oh, yeah, it's time to take a check. It's not a very efficient way of doing it. So our software reminded them when they're supposed to do the checks. And then when they collect their data, if something was out of spec, or there's some unusual event that occurs, something else, not just out of spec, but some statistical alarm, like a trend happened, there would be an alarm that occurred, and we'd send emails out to the support staff, people like the engineering team or management team, whoever needed to know about those alarms. So great, so people knew about any issues that were occurring, and that was all happening in real time. And then we provided reports from our system to the management team, the engineers, and others. So that's kind of what we did. Well, what was kind of neat was people really liked the reminders, they really liked the alarms. They go, oh, I got a problem. We don't have to look at a big spreadsheet full of data because the software tells you, hey, I got a problem. So they go and, oh, here's my problem, they fix it, and they really found that that was beneficial. But what we had to keep telling is, no. It's not just that. It's not just about fixing problems. It's about stepping back, looking at the bigger picture and saying, how can we make things better in total and really save money and really reduce defects? And so what we did was we kept telling them to do that, and they actually did it.
Just point at me.
And go, there you go. All right. And of course the management team wanted results. So what they did, it's working now. Okay, good. So they said, we're going to focus on all those things they're checking, from bottle washing to palletizing. They said, we're going to focus on net contents. The volumetric fills, the amount of stuff they're putting in their bottles, the distilled product they're putting in their bottles. And so every hour, they randomly selected a few bottles. And they measured. They actually weighed it. They calculated volumetric fill after tearing off the weight of the bottle. And they had a whole bunch of product codes they're dealing with. They did this over 6-7 weeks. They had a lot of different product codes. It wasn't a dedicated production line. They were changing over every 6 to 18 hours. Every day. Change over different product code. It could be 750 milliliters, it could be 250, it could be 300, it could be all kinds of different sizes. So, and they also had a 30-head rotary filler. 30 plus is 32 or 36, I forgot which. But it was this filler, and man, the thing, it was running fast, right? And so we focused on net contents, and we said, let's see if we can learn from it. What they learned was, gee whiz, the heads don't fill at the same rate. Shocking, right? Yeah. But they're able to distill, they distilled actually. They distilled information that told them which heads were higher or lower filling than others. Which is good, right? Because we're talking about consistency. We want each bottle to be filled to the same amount. And when I'm going in there and looking for some distilled product, and I look at 2 bottles next to one another, and one's filled higher than the other, what do? Yeah, I'm going to pick up the one that's filled more. That's the one that's good, right? Yeah. So they wanted the fill heights to be exactly the same, and they wanted the fill volumes to be the same as well. But they found head performance differences. They found there were shift differences. Now, in no way was that a negative evaluation of their operators. It was simply that the machinery, when they set it up, there were things specific to the machines they found that when you stopped that machine and you set up for something else, it did something a little different. It was bad, right? We're talking about consistency. Here's the other thing. They found product differences in terms of fills. And they found that it was not just, they could look at the same 750 milliliter bottle putting a different product in it, and there was a difference. Why the heck was that? Well, there's viscosity differences and whatnot. So they got all over this stuff, and they said, geez, there's a story here. They listened to the data. The data told them all this cool stuff, and this is really what was cool for us. They saved themselves more than $800,000 a year in fill volumes. One production line. We were blown away. We're like, what the heck? And this is something else. The management team was blown away as well. They said, we had no idea. We've been running all this time. We had no idea that the fill heads were like that. We had no idea there's this shift-to-shift differences. We had no clue. But again, if you want to improve something, measure it. Get the data, let it tell you its story, and make the changes. This was a really cool situation, because it's nice to hear not just the operators say, but the managers go, oh, geez, man, holy crap. We were clueless. Yes, you were. And so it was a great success story. And really, it had to do with reimagining quality. They weren't just fixated on fixing the problems. They were stepping back and saying, let's look at the big picture. Let's look at what the data is telling us over several weeks or months worth of time. And then making changes and improvements based upon listening to that data. And that's what's different. Again, I'm an old school quality guy. I'm used to saying, hey, let's fix problems. That was awesome. What we talked about earlier was Jim. There's Jim, there he is. Talking about how you went through and fixed that problem. We are great problem solvers. I'm going to say it. Quality people are great problem solvers. We are. Because we're so used to fixing problems, right? And so we get good at that. And it's rewarding. But what I'm saying is this is different. I'm saying, yes, we want to fix problems. Yes, we want to attend to things around a spec and alarms and all that stuff. But what we have to do is we have to look at the bigger picture occasionally. Once a month, once a week, whatever it is, so that we can get those insights operationally as to what we can do to make transformative changes in our processes. Now, back to the brewing process. I look at this and I think, wow, look at all the processes. Look at all the opportunities for data collection. Go back to what Patrick was saying earlier. All this machinery available to you to gather data for you and give data to you. What are you going to do with it? Well, if we overlay this idea of the excellence loop, you can imagine we could do this for each one of those processes. If you truly want to make things better, if you're having problems and you know you want to make things better, think about getting the visibility from gathering data. Let the data tell you a story as to what the insights are you need to fix, and then make the fix. Transform what's happening in that one process, and if you do that across all those processes, you'll find big improvements are able to be made. And so, whether it's automating data collection, reporting, doing the alerts and reminders, man, there's great stuff you can do with quality. And so, we feel like companies that have quality systems at their disposal, they can elevate themselves from good enough to no one is better than us. It's not just about fixing problems, not just about food safety, traceability. That's very important stuff, don't get me wrong, incredibly important stuff. But rethinking about how quality can be used from a strategic standpoint, it's about transforming your results, expecting a return on investment, and proactively improving your processes, getting that data, that information, and fixing things before it ever happens, before the problems ever occur. It's about reducing our costs, increasing profitability, and making sure those customers are loyal to you. We've talked about that today. It's been a great discussion. And that's just a little bit about how we feel you can reimagine quality to drive results with the quality system.